Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by Netflix.
Today on Variant, I review Batman Earth 1. It was amazing. No, it wasn't. Was it? It was. Or was it? Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than Rocky loves Emily. I'm your host, Arris. So the Earth 1 line of graphic novels have been becoming really popular amongst fans, and I would only imagine they're going to keep pumping them out. A lot of you guys have been asking me what are my thoughts on the fairly new Batman Earth 1 graphic novel, so today I'm going to give you my review and thoughts on it, because I'm a stand-up guy. But first, a word from our sponsor. That's not true at all. But before I talk about the novel, I want to introduce a new thing we're going to be doing on the show called Comic IQ. We'll be showing blurred images of comic book covers, comic book characters, or anything comic book related. We'll be giving you hints throughout the episode, and at the end of the episode, we will reveal what it is, to find out if you were right or not. And here's our very first one. This character was the second villain ever to fight Barry Allen, aka The Flash, in DC Showcase 8. Now, before I give you my thoughts on Batman Earth 1, let me just clarify. All of the Earth 1 graphic novels, right now there are only two, Superman Earth 1 and Batman Earth 1, they have nothing to do with DC's main ongoing monthly titles. DC just basically is taking some of their characters and reimagining them and giving them completely different stories and backgrounds. So it's just taking new approaches and new backgrounds to their characters. Again, the Earth 1 line of books has nothing to do with DC's New 52 line, just to make that very clear. So, with that said, writer Geoff Johns had the opportunity to do whatever spin or tweaks he wanted with the Batman mythos, which is awesome. And I was really curious and excited to see what approach Geoff Johns was going to take with this novel, because he's an awesome writer, but at the same time, he's not really known for writing Batman. I mean, he's wrote Batman before and doing a great job with writing Batman within the Justice League title, but he's mainly known for writing characters like The Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. But did I love it, like it, hate it, or what? I actually loved it. So let me tell you a little bit about the novel and why I loved it. But before I get into the book, some stuff I say from here on out might be considered spoilers to some people. I won't be giving away anything major or twist or telling you how the book ends, but I will be talking about how some characters have changed and certain things in the book. So if you're sensitive to that stuff, you've been warned. So don't get all pissy at me. It's your decision to stay. So really, I should be mad at you. Yeah. Think about that. The novel starts out with Bruce Wayne at age 8, and his father Thomas Wayne, after receiving death threats, calls his longtime friend Alfred Pennyworth to become head of security at Wayne Manor. Now, why would he do that? Because in this universe, Alfred is actually ex-Royal Marines Special Forces soldier. Yeah, that's right, Alfred is a BAMF, and more of a bodyguard than a butler in this, which I actually liked, and they made it work really well, especially his interaction with Bruce. I also really like the new approach to Jim Gordon. In this, Jim Gordon isn't the cop we've grown up loving. And by that, I mean he isn't the cop that's going to stand up for what's right and enforce the law no matter the cost. We're actually introduced to a broken down Jim Gordon who believes you just gotta go with the flow and let the gangsters and mob control Gotham, because nothing is ever going to change. I like this new approach on Jim Gordon because it's interesting to see this kind of take on Gordon, as it's basically the polar opposite of what we're used to, and it was fun to see if he would change to the more of the Gordon we know as I kept reading, or stay with the same let him get away with it attitude. Another character that got a big change in this is Harvey Bullock. He actually becomes Jim's partner and has a huge makeover. He's a former reality star from a show called Hollywood Detectives, who's come to Gotham to solve one of the city's biggest murder mysteries and hopes to become even more famous. Bullock was actually one of my favorite characters in this, as he provides a lot of comic relief. He's very arrogant and cocky and actually wants to do everything by the book and help people, and I think becomes very likable as the book goes on. By now you're probably like, well, are there any villains in this book, Arris? And yes, there is. The main villain in this is Oswald Cobblepot, but most people just know him as the Penguin, yet he's never called that in this book. He's actually drawn to look a lot more human looking and not so penguin-y like we're used to. Penguin-y. That's not even a word. It sounds funny though. Penguin-y. Penguin-y. Anyway, he's a corrupt mayor from Gotham and basically just runs it and does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, because he's an OG. From the hood. Nah, mean cousin. Now let's talk about who the graphic novel is named after. Batman. I really like the approach Geoff Johns did with Bruce Wayne / Batman. He still kept the fundamental roots while still giving him a whole new spin. Like I said earlier, we're introduced to a Bruce Wayne at the age of 8 in the beginning of the story, where he's a bratty rich boy. with that only child syndrome thing going on. Which again is not something we're used to. Flash forward a couple years when Bruce finally does become Batman, and we have a Batman who reminds me very much of the Batman from Batman Year One, in the sense where Bruce doesn't fully have the grasp on how to entirely be Batman, and is still very rough around the edges. His gadgets still crap out on him and don't work, he's getting beat up left and right, there's no Batcave yet, he doesn't even have a Batmobile, so we have a very new Batman who doesn't have everything figured out yet. In this, Bruce Wayne doesn't have like over 100 forms of martial arts mastered. The only fight training he does have is from Alfred, as he was in the Special Forces and taught Bruce all he knows. So this really is a stripped down, even more humanized Batman, which is really cool to see, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's fun to see different good approaches to characters I love. It's almost like Nolan's approach to Batman in comic form, but not really. The fight scenes and action in this book are awesome. Heck, the overall art and panel layout is fantastic. It's drawn by Gary Frank, who is one of the best Hulk artists out there, which I think a lot of people would agree. He's also known for drawing Supergirl. I really love his art and the realness, quality he gives to all his characters. The book sold so well, it's actually getting a volume 2, in which Jeff Johns said the villain will be the Riddler. Super excited for that. But yes, this graphic novel is an awesome and must read for any comic fan. You don't even have to like Batman that much, because this is just good storytelling and good art, which any comic fan can appreciate. I actually don't have any gripes about this book. It's the kind of story where they didn't have to follow any rules, they could have done whatever they want, so it's either you like it or you don't. But I know most people would agree, this is an awesome read. I love movies, and you know what makes it easy to watch movies? Netflix. Netflix streams TV shows and movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle. As a Netflix member, you can instantly watch TV episodes and movies streaming directly to your PC, Mac, or right to your TV with your Xbox 360, PS3, or Nintendo Wii console, plus Apple devices Kindle and Nook. Get a free 30-day trial membership by going to netflix.com/variant and signing up now.
He is also the leader of the supervillain group, the Rogue.
First up on my buy list for September 19th is Avengers vs. X-Men issue 12. This is it, guys, the last issue of the series. So let's see what happens. Definitely going to be something people are going to be talking about for a while. Here we have Powers FBI issue 1. The Eisner Award-winning Powers comic gets a spin-off. Powers is about 2 homicide detectives assigned to investigate cases with people with superhuman abilities. Next we have Justice League issue 0. This issue highlights one of my favorite characters, Shazam, and gives his origin. I don't really think I have to say more. Here we have Nightwing issue 0. It's the origin of Dick Grayson, from orphan to superhero. It's all right here.
This character is widely known as one of Jeff Johns' favorite characters. The answer is Captain Cold.
Well, that's it for today on Variant, but be sure to leave your comments and thoughts below. You can also check out our Variant Facebook page and keep up with the show in all things comics. You can also check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/theArrisQuinones or my Twitter page at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones. But once again, my fellow comic brethren, I will see you next week when I talk about the Hulk in honor of the Avengers Blu-ray release.